Welcome back to Switches, Tips, and Knobs, where I flip them, twist them, and poke them for my pleasure. Today I'm going to get some hate because I don't like the Nano Cortex. I know a lot of people don't, and I'm going to tell you why. I was super excited when I first got this, and don't get me wrong, this is a great piece of equipment if you have a need for it. The problem that I have with it, well, it's got some cool features. It's got some excellent features. There's nothing wrong with any of that. I don't use this. So, I mean, it's... for the things that I do, this is unnecessary. It's a $600 paperweight. It has sat on my desk for 4 months. I bought this back in November. I tried to do a video of it then. Just couldn't seem to pull everything together to actually make a video about it. I have spent I have spent a little bit of time messing with it, and it's a very quality product. This thing is solid. Making captures with it is extremely easy if you have a lot of gear that you want to make captures of. I don't. I have 3 amps. I've got the MT-15, a Joyo Zombie 2, and a Boss Katana. I have made captures of the MT-15 and the Zombie 2, and while you can't really tell a difference, in a sense, you can't tell a difference between the amp and the capture on here. There is a huge sound quality difference between this guy and a Tonex pedal. There's also a huge difference in the availability of presets or captures or capture presets, however you want to say it. There's like 30,000 available downloads for the Tonex pedal. There's not that many for this. And I find that the destructive editing thing that some people talk about, where you get a capture and if you tweak any of the settings, it just makes it sound worse. That happens far easier on this than it does the Tonex pedal. And I realized that this video is going to make me sound like I'm some kind of Tonex spokesperson. I'm not. I bought both of these. I bought this one right before, back in November, like I said, and I've had the Tonex pedal since August or September of last year. I do have more time and experience with the Tonex pedal, and it is, in my opinion, for me at least, an easier product. No, that's not the right way to say that. I use it more. I play it more. I will sit down and I do more with the Tonex pedal. I mean, I go on the ToneNet nearly every night and download new presets every night, and they sound great. I will say the ability to add IRs in this is a tad more difficult than using the software on the computer for the Tonex. I will say, in the beginning, using the Tonex, getting the IK Media Manager, Download Manager, whatever it's called, set up on there, getting your account set up and get everything downloaded to where you can actually use all of the peripherals that come along with the Tonex pedal is a pain in the ass. Like, it's awful. You should just be able to go on there, download it, and use it. But no, they've got quite a few hoops to jump through to get everything going with this. After you get it all said and done, I believe that the Tonex is a better fit for me, for the kind of playing that I do, which is not spectacular playing by any means, but overall, the Tonex pedal fits me better. It fits what I do better. If I had a collection of amps, say, you know, a JCM 800 or a Dumble, or, you know, some other kind of boutique amp that I didn't want to lug around somewhere, or didn't want to pull out of the studio to go to practice, or I don't even know if that makes sense for any of you. If that were the case, and I could use this to capture that, and then take this with me, and then just use something like a Boss Katana or an FR setup, and just use this to get the capture of my amp, that'd be tons easier. Because I could carry this in a little pouch or a backpack, take an FR with me, which most of them weigh about the same as a combo amp these days. It would suit me better. But I don't have all those boutique amps. I don't have any boutique amps. I have 2 lunch boxes and a combo. So it doesn't suit my things here. That being said, I do think that it's a great product. It's a very quality product, very solid. Excuse me. And the only actual issue that I had with it was that if you turn your level up more than, say, 60, 70%, you get some really crazy feedback type artifacts. When I was using my Ibanez RG421, I could just, you know, place my palm across the strings and just slightly drag my palm, and it would give the most shrill squeal that would equate to feedback that I'd ever heard. And it did it constantly. It would do it, you know, normally when you're playing, the feedback squeal goes away. But this was doing it while I was playing, and it was driving me crazy. And then I realized that you have to turn your level down on here. Yeah, that's the right one. Turn this level down to about 60%, and it would go away. Even when you're using the built-in gate, I had the gate on there maxed out, and it was still giving the squeal. I've never had that kind of issue with the Tonex. And I, you know, like I said, it's going to sound like I'm a Tonex fanboy. And I guess in a sense I am. But when it comes to this guy, I wish I had saved my money and just bought the Quad Cortex. Because then at least I would have had, you know, the modeling features and effects features. This does have a few built-in effects, and they're decent. The only ones I really used were the gate and the pitch shifter. I like those a lot. Those two things are really the only reasons that I would actually keep this. I'm not keeping it, by the way. I'm actually going to trade it to a friend for a guitar that he's got, which is why I'm making this video now. But although I don't have this loaded up, and I don't think that it would be very, like it would come through YouTube very well to hook these up and show you what I mean by the sound differences, but I have a capture of the Demos plugin loaded on here, and on the Tonex. And the Tonex sounds like a real amp. And when you play that, you know, back to back with the same capture on here, it is a capture of a plugin. Excuse me. When you play them back to back, I almost always prefer the sound of that same capture on the Tonex. That being said, I don't have any experience making captures with the Tonex because it's, compared to this, pretty convoluted. This thing, the Nano Cortex, you hook up a couple of wires, you get your settings dialed in, and you hit capture, and it just does it. I mean, you can do it from the app on your phone. And with the Tonex, you have to have the computer set up, and apparently there's a little bit of an issue when you try to do it. I don't remember if it was with a Mac or Windows-based computer, but it likes one of them better. I don't remember which one it was, but I haven't tried it. And I don't have their capture box, and I don't know if it's necessary to have that. But again, I don't have anything here that I would need to make captures for. I basically use the Tonex to download other people's captures and presets, because there are people out there better at making them than I am, and they've made some good ones. There's like 30,000 plus right now, and there's some of them that are crap, and there's some of them that are really good. The one thing that bugs me, just what really grinds my gears, is when people they upload their presets or their captures into the ToneNet, and it says high gain, and then you play it, and it sounds like a clean amp. Some of them, like the amp itself, would be a high gain amp, but the capture is not high gain, not in the least. I can usually make most clean amps break up pretty good with just, you know, regular humbucker guitar. And there's some of these captures that people have on there that say high gain that are not high gain in any sense of the words. There are some of the presets and captures that I downloaded from the neural connected, I don't know really what you'd call it. I don't even think it has a name on here, that are quite good. And it just says neural captures. It doesn't have anything specific to it or anything like that. But some of them are really good. But almost all of the good ones there's like 2 or 3 from people that would be considered a name drop, I guess. You know, like Rabia Masad, or some of these on here, just the top ones, Tone Junkie. I don't know who Martin Miller is. But, you know, they're big names. Those people that have been doing captures and everything for a long time and know how to do them and all that stuff, using that thing is great if you want their captures. Some of them are good. Rabia has a few of the SLO 100 that are good. Something that I've run into with this one again versus the Tonex is the volume differences between captures on this thing. And if you have a capture that already has a cab attached to it, if you use your own IR with that, it kills the volume. It's like doubling up IRs on a capture, and it just makes it sound muddy. And if you want to use your own IRs, which I have a few of my own on here, which IRs are way easier to do. you need captures that are amp only, because the captures that have the cab IR attached to them, like I said, you switch the IR to one of your own, it just sounds like trash. With, again, going back to the Tonex here, with the Tonex, you can put your IRs in a folder on there, open up the Tonex app, program, software, drag and drop, and they're there. With this, you have to upload your IR into your Neural account, and then from there, it'll become available in your account on your phone or iPad or whatever you use, and then you have to download them to here with your phone. It's kind of a chore. It's not terrible. It doesn't take forever. It's just way more steps than just dragging and dropping like with the Tonex. Most of the issues with the Tonex that I've had are, like I said, with the IK download manager. It's dealing with that thing is like nails on a chalkboard. I hate it, but I like the Tonex pedal. Another win for the Tonex is the things that you get with it. You get Tonex Max, you get Amplitude 5, you get access to all. You can make your own presets in Amplitude and Tonex, and then put them on the Tonex pedal from the app. You can't do that with this. You have to have the Quad Cortex in order to do that with those things. If you want to use like the archetype plugins and stuff like that, you have to have the Quad Cortex. You don't get access to those things with this. So again, while this is cool and it's worth the money, it's kind of for a certain person. Whereas I feel like the Tonex, you have to be a little more computer literate and able to deal with those kinds of things and the issues that come along with them. But at the end of the day, I feel like I get more with the Tonex pedal and the accompanying programs. I mean, you get access to a lot of stuff that you can use in your recording software with the Tonex, and you don't with this. And the Tonex was cheaper. This was $600 and the Tonex was $350. It's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, again, these are my opinions, and I know some people are going to hate on my opinions for them. Hate on my opinions for them. You know what I'm saying. And that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I just happen to be sharing mine with the internet. I don't really know what more I could say. And I'm not trying to convince anybody one way or the other. More or less providing information to maybe other people like me that are doing what I do. Unless you're gigging, this doesn't really serve a purpose for people like me. At least not yet. Now, a year or so down the line, when Neural decides that they're going to add some upgrades to this or produce a version 2.0 or something, I think it'll be better then. But unless you have, like I said, a crap ton of amps and you want to generate your own captures, that way you can leave your nice stuff at home and just take this with you, this isn't for you. And I mean, yeah, I know the Quad Cortex is $1,000 more expensive, but you get all the extra stuff with it. Whereas the Tonex pedal is $350 to $400, depending on where you get it, and you get all the extra stuff with it. You actually get more programs and such, because you get, I don't even know what half of these are. I've never opened them to use them, but you get Tonex Max, Amplitude 5, Sample Tank 4, Centronic 2, T-Rax 5, Moto Bass, Mixbox, Moto Drum, and their custom shop. Custom shop, I believe, is where you can go and pay for the boutique amp style plugins and create your own presets to load over into the other and put on your Tonex pedal. I believe that's how you have to do it. I have not done that yet, but I know it can be done. Whereas using these guys' plugins, all of Neural's plugins aren't even compatible on the Quad Cortex yet. And they're not compatible at all with this, unless someone makes a capture with this of those things and then uploads them to here. And there's a lot of them that I haven't been able to find. And there are people that have used the Tonex software and gone on there and made captures of the Neural DSP plugins, and they're good. You know, it's not like you've got like this trash sound or whatever. I know a lot of people don't care for the digital thing, and a lot of people on YouTube are saying that they're going back to amps and getting away from digital. I think it's good to have both, because some days you feel like having a specific sound that you only get from your digital stuff, and other days you just feel like having some loud ass air movement in the room, which, you know, I believe we all do that at some point. But I'm going to stick with Tonex, and I'm going to trade this to a friend for a guitar, and one day when I have enough money I will buy a Quad Cortex, and I'm pretty sure I'll love that because of the stuff, you know, everything that it comes with. I do think they're a bit pricey, but yeah, it is what it is. And I know some people hate when other people say that, but I don't really have a way of comparing the sounds to each other at the moment, other than taking along, which, I mean, I guess I could run them into Logic. Let's see if I can figure that out. Okay, we're gonna see if I can get this in some way and have it translate through here so that you can at least see what I'm talking about. This is the Demos. It's an Audio Assault plugin. It's called Demos. I have no idea what it's modeled after, but it's probably one of my favorite plugins. And I don't know why no one on YouTube is talking about Audio Assault plugins, because they're really good and they're super cheap, like $5. I think I got 4 different ones, and I spent like $17 and a set of cab IRs from them, which are also really good. But anyway, I'll make another video about that later. Let's see if I can do this and actually hear a difference through there. This is the Tonex pedal run into the interface. It's already got the amp and cab setup on the Tonex pedal, so it's got a good, actually I don't want those. It's actually already got a good setup. We're gonna suck this up. Okay, let us get the pedals switched out here. Momento. Tonex pedal, just in case anyone's skeptical. Now we're hooking up the Nano Cortex. I don't know why I couldn't say that. It even has it written on it. It also takes a minute to boot up. The Tonex doesn't. Granted, there's probably more processing power going on in the Nano Cortex, and that's probably what you're mostly paying for if you buy one. But even then, when you hook it up, it takes a minute to load. Okay. And I don't know if you can read that, but we'll get in there. Let's just do that. Let's see where is it? I don't know if you can or not. Anyway, it's set to demos. It's the exact same plug-in capture on both of them. And That's that -4. Now, maybe this will come through. By the time it's all said and done, though, it probably won't because of YouTube's compression rates. I think that's the right word. I don't know if that's coming through or not, but do you hear? Well, I don't know that you can at all, but there's kind of a I don't know of another word to describe it other than like digital artifacts. It sounds, I don't know, maybe I'm hearing it wrong. Maybe what you're hearing is totally different and you like this better. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's all an opinion. Did you hear it? I don't know. I haven't really been able to well, I could turn it up. It's not gonna do it with this one. I don't know. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that to me, what comes out of the Tonex pedal sounds more true to an amp, like an authentic amp sound, than the exact same. And I guess that's kind of contradictory considering it's a capture of a plug-in. All I'm saying is that when I when I come in here and I sit down and I want to play something that sounds pushed at bedroom volume, I go to the Tonex. I do every time. To me, in my opinion, in this room, it sounds better. And I can do more with the Tonex and the peripherals that come with the Tonex pedal than I can with the Nano Cortex. Now, like I said, if I had a wall of amps and I didn't want to lug them around and I was going places and practicing with people, the Nano Cortex would absolutely be a game changer. But for, bedroom players like me who aren't doing those things, it just doesn't make sense at the price point. The Tonex is still, it fits into that category, but it's kind of comparing apples to oranges too, if you think about it. I mean, they both make captures, but the Nano Cortex doesn't come with quite as many peripherals as the Tonex does. And I may have said that backwards. But yeah, I hope this information helps somebody, and I hope that these sound samples actually come through to where you could actually hear a difference and maybe pick up on what I pick up on. Probably not, because you're not in the room, and being in the room is a big part of what we do. So there's a lot of these things that we do and see and watch on YouTube when it comes to music instruments and stuff that's not being in the room, which can be counterproductive if you think about it. But anyways, if you hung out this far, thanks for watching. If this was helpful, I hope you come back. I'm not gonna do the whole please like and subscribe, but if you feel like it. If you don't, that's cool too.